Adam and Lauren from PerformanceRunners.com, bringing you just some information on being strong. I think at this point, I think all runners know that it's more than just running. Okay, it's not the back in the 80s and 90s where people just ran. They didn't do any strength training. Runners these days are not only runners, but they're athletes.
Well-rounded.
Yes, well-rounded, strong, powerful, explosive. They can do many things, not just run. They can jump and they can lift and they can cut, and they're just pure athletes. Lauren has her story about how she kind of went from just straight runner to athlete.
So in high school, basketball was my main sport. Eventually I decided to take up cross country. I thought it would be good for my cardio and my lungs in basketball. Really didn't care about it that much as a sport in and of itself. Sorry, runners. Just not my cup of tea. And that's because it broke me. I had no strength training. I had no base. I just went in the first day and started running, and next thing you know, I'm putting in 20, 30 miles a week. I'm someone who used to run 0, and my body did not respond well. So I ended up getting a stress fracture. The next season I thought, you know what, okay, I'll train harder, which meant I'll run harder, and that'll fix things, and that just gave me double stress fractures. So I ended up getting stress fractures in both my shins, and then being very upset because I thought it would hurt my basketball season. Eventually I stopped running. I started doing some strength training, but in high school, what does that really mean? It probably wasn't very much. Eventually moved on to being a collegiate athlete where I did pole vaulting and basketball. And we had a very regimented strength program, and throughout my whole collegiate career, I didn't have any injuries and was able to finish that out and truly felt like an athlete. And that's kind of what led me into CrossFit, and now teaming up with Adam on the different programs and things that we have.
So I think one of the things is, like, as a runner, you have to know who you are and what your goal is. Lauren, as a runner, was a pole vaulter and still running, and there's a ton of pressure that gets put on those, on those 6 lefts, coming down the runway.
Right.
So you have to account for that, and then you train that, differently depending on if you're a distance runner, a middle distance runner, a hurdler, or a jumper, or a sprinter, or whatever you may be. So some thoughts then with how to get strong. Okay, ideas here is that you have to be consistent. Now, you're not an Olympic lifter, you're not a power lifter, okay? We don't have to, be in the weight room, 7 days a week, but you have to be consistent. So whatever your coach is telling you to do, whatever they're programming you to do, if it's 2 days a week, be there 2 days a week. If it's 3 days a week, be there 3 days a week. 4 days a week, be there 4 days a week. But don't be there 5 days 1 week and then skip a week and then do 1 time and then skip a week and then 3 times and then skip, because nothing will happen. Okay, you just inconsistent. No different than if you inconsistently run, train, or eat well, same idea. Next thing is perfect movement. So then within you being consistent, that 3 days a week, 3 days a week, 3 days a week, the movement just has to be perfect. Again, you're not a power lifter, you're not an Olympic lifter. Nobody really cares how much weight is on the bar. We care that you're moving really, really well. So that then translates to the track. The squat, with the hip, is full expression of the hip, and that carries over, to running, and you are strong and stable through. After you are consistent, after your movement is absolutely perfect, you're able to up some load and really move fast. Again, you're trying to be an athlete, you're trying to be explosive, you're trying to be fast. Slow movement in the weight room does not translate into fast running. We want to move weights and loads as quickly as humanly possible while maintaining absolutely perfect movement and perfect form.
Yeah, when Adam talks about upping the load, he's not talking about going to 1 rep maxes, and you're not going to get huge and bulky, because that does not coincide well with being a sleek, strong, fast, explosive runner. So don't worry about that when we talk about upping the load. We just mean we're trying to push and build strength. From day 1, hopefully you're going to get stronger from day 1 than you do on day 30. So eventually loads will go up, but we're not trying to make you big, bulky people.
I think the biggest thing is you may be a runner, but I think you're an athlete first. So be an athlete.
Right.
Train some endurance, train some running, train some speed, and you're gonna be a heck of a runner. Thanks for watching.